Alright, today we start Chapter 2, Section 2, Setting and Reaching Your Goals. Alright, we're going to look at a lot of goal setting concepts in this section. First of all, why do we set goals? We set goals to make us basically move forward with our world. Okay, every day we wake up, we always have goals in mind. Some of them might simply be get out of bed, take a shower, get dressed, let's make it to school on time. And some of you need to work on some of those goals, okay? However, the point of it being is that every day you have goals, all right? And some long-term goals can be included in those things, all right? Goals give us a sense of purpose. It gives us where we're going, all right? It also gives us, always have an eye on the future. We've got to be striving for something. If we're not striving for something, we're not getting better at anything, okay? Little saying I use with my athletes at times is in life, you're either getting better or you're getting worse, and if you're doing neither, you're 6 feet under. And I know it's kind of a morbid way of putting it, but it's true. You always got to be striving for something, otherwise you're not getting better at anything, okay? My stage of life, I'm striving for, obviously, helping kids learn, become better people, striving for my kids to become good people, trying to make them into decent adults. I'm striving to get my kids to graduate high school, hopefully go on to college. In 20 years from now, I might be striving to look forward to retirement, hopefully seeing my grandkids do well, things of that nature. Every stage of life, there's always goals. And we got to realize that, and it is what gives us a sense of purpose every day of our lives. Provides direction and makes you realize where you came from, okay? This is where you look at failures and conquests within your goals. We've all failed at goals and we've all succeeded at goals. Some of you, maybe it was last year, probably was to succeed middle 6th grade so you can come to the high school, and so you're out of the elementary school so you can maybe be treated more like an adult. That is an example of, it provides the direction and makes you realize where you came from. All right. A lot of goals will, whether you fail or succeed, make you realize a lot about yourself. And I can speak to it personally, is that some of my failures made me into the better person that I am hopefully today. And also, as you work on your goals and hopefully you succeed at your goals, it actually improves your mental, emotional health, obviously keeping your health triangle in balance still. It's simple. You succeed at something, you feel good. When I got my first college degree, I felt really good about it. There's only, in my immediate family going up the line a little bit, there's only a handful of people that have ever gotten a 4-year degree, so it felt pretty good to be one to actually get one. Now, one thing goals need to be is realistic, okay? I'll use this one because I'll pick on myself a little bit. It's like saying I'm going to weigh 110 pounds someday. Probably not realistically going to happen, all right? I mean, you probably weigh my bones by themselves, I probably weigh 110 pounds, all right? Even internal organs probably weigh another 100 pounds, all right? So for me to realistically weigh 110 pounds just isn't probably going to happen. Now, if a realistic goal is say, okay, I'm going to weigh 220 someday, that's more realistic, something that can happen, and it's sustainable. All right. You must have a strategy to achieve your goals. Okay, you can't just come up with a goal and just kind of whimsically go about it, because if you don't have a strategy, your chances of succeeding are very minimized. All right, you have a much greater chance of failure than success. And we're going to talk more about the strategies that involved into hopefully achieving those goals. We have two types of goals. We have a short-term or a long-term goal and a short-term goal. Long-term goals, just like the name references, probably going to achieve over months, if not years, okay? My bachelor's degree in science and physical education took me 4.5, 5 years to attain. Took me another 2 years to achieve my social studies degree. Okay, those are long-term goals. Those things aren't going to happen overnight, okay? Short-term goals. Short-term goals can be achieved in minutes, hours, or days even, all right? Short-term goals could be, okay, you're going to maintain a certain grade point average for the semester. Okay, that'd be a short-term goal. Now, for you, if you want to leave the difference, you want to do good in school right now so that as you go into high school, you have good work habits, things like that. That is your short-term goal. Most of your long-term goal right now is just simply to graduate high school. And, learn as you go along the way, give yourself the best opportunity to go on to whatever endeavors you choose to do in life, all right? Many short-term goals are used to make up long-term goals, and this is the truth, okay? Obviously, if you're going to graduate high school, you have to pass your freshman year, then you have to pass your sophomore year, then you have to pass your junior year, and you still have to pass your senior year before you can graduate. It takes those 4 short-term goals to make it into a long-term goal of graduation. And here are some of the strategies for attaining a goal, all right? It's really broken into 5 steps. 1, set a goal and write it down, okay? They often say that if you have something to constantly remind yourself of a goal, you're more likely to stay on track of that goal. If you just kind of say it to yourself and every once in a while think about it, you're not as likely to be aware of it, and shall we say, then you're more likely to slack off on it. List the steps you need to take to reach the goal, okay? So if I want to, say, lose, we'll say 50 pounds in 6 months. Okay, what am I going to do to reach those goals? Okay, I'm going to probably have to watch my food intake. I'm going to have to make sure I watch my activity levels. Watch and make sure that I keep any like junk food minimized. Things like that. You're going to need to list the steps you need to do it. You also need to be aware of, you probably want to write down maybe goals like your short-term goals in there. Okay, after a month I want to lose 10 pounds. 15 pounds. Next month I want to lose 10 pounds, and after that 5 and 5 and 5. Okay? Simple things like that that'll keep you on task of reaching your goal. Find others who can help you. This is very important. This is kind of what I call the cheerleader part of it, right? You need someone who's very supportive of what you're doing. You need someone that has the same interest, all right? For example, go back to my losing weight. If I have, like, say my wife wants to do the same thing with me, we have a way, then you have somebody that's going to also rely on you. You're going to be accountable to help them as well as they're going to help you. And I've often found that people that work together on something, the chances of succeeding become much better, all right? Set checkpoints to evaluate your project. I kind of mentioned this a little bit more with listing the steps. Like I said, if I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, I want to go 15, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, or 10, 5, whatever. Okay, we need to have those set checkpoints so that we make sure that we're kind of maintaining the progress. And now, if you don't meet those checkpoints, doesn't mean you stop. All right, just means you maybe need to find a way to kick it into gear a little bit more. Maybe means you just need to find a different route. Maybe you need to reevaluate your steps you're taking to achieve those goals. Okay, checkpoints are meant to help the progress. It's not meant to be the end all be all of the process. Excuse me. Last thing is reward yourself for reaching your goal. Okay, there's many things you can do to reward yourself. The biggest thing is, and it's probably the most simple thing is when you reach your goal, you should feel proud about what you've done. You should appreciate what you've done for yourself, okay? Reaching goals is not easy, all right? And I know, like it says set realistic goals, and that's great. But I also tell people sometimes you got to reach for some goals that you didn't think you could attain. Because if you don't reach for more than what you're capable of, you're truly not pushing yourself to your limits of what you're capable of. So if you ever set those goals, and if you ever reach those goals, those are the goals. No one will have to tell you anything. Your reward will be within itself. Reaching that goal, you'll be on cloud 9. You'll feel great. Sometimes depending on what the goal is, I know me and my wife before, we've done some stuff and we did some work on our house. And we did this and that and everything else, and we knew that it was a pretty big project we undertook at the time, and our reward to ourselves was we went on a trip together somewhere with our kids to, I think, the cities or something like that. But we rewarded ourselves by doing something simple like that. Your age, reward for reaching a goal could be maybe ask your parents to do something like that you would enjoy doing. Maybe it is, hey, instead of having just maybe ask for maybe a special meal or something like that, something that you really enjoy that you don't get on a regular basis. Simple things like that. And like I've often referred to, is that people really do appreciate those things. When I used to be a full-time weightlifting coach around here during the summertime, at the end of the summer I used to have kids over to my house that they'd have water gun fights and stuff like that. And you saw the reward on the kids' face from all their hard work, and they really enjoyed those activities. And when you see that reward they get, they appreciate it, and you know that what you've done something right for them to help them reach their goals. So I believe that's everything in this section. Is a fairly short section. However, make sure you take some time to read it over, look it over, read it over. I can guarantee you the 5 steps you're going to see on your test, so you want to make sure that you're aware of that as well, okay? Like I said about goals should be attainable, but you also got to make sure that they're on the upper limits of what you are capable of. Because if you're not doing that, you're actually only selling yourself short. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.